Welcome to the show, everyone. This is Talks with Friends. I have my friend Dan Barraza here. Two Mexican dudes back to back, baby. Bwah, bwah, bwah. Daniel, how are you today?
Good. I'm very good.
Good. So, when was your first drink?
That's a long time ago, man. My first drink I was probably young, probably like 5, 6. I don't know. Like, I was super young, and I remember we were at like some wedding or something.
5 or 6.
Some sort of event.
Yeah.
And somebody's like, "Here, just give him like a sip of beer." And I tried a sip of beer, and I fucking hated it.
Do you remember what beer it was? Like a Corona?
No, like I maybe like a Bud Light or Miller or something like that. It was something like very. I wasn't having Mad Dog 2020 or some shit like that, you know.
Did you have just one beer or just the one sip?
Yeah, that's all I remember. And then after that, like, I think in high school and shit like that.
Yeah. No, I just always think it's crazy that people like try to figure out drinking when they get to college and have no concept of what your limits are, what different liquors do to you. Like, does tequila make your clothes fall off? Does beer make you bloated? Like, that's wild to me how people just show up to college like, oh, I'm 18, I have a fake ID, sick, let's do this. Like, what the fuck?
I know if I do like beer and then I switch it up and all of a sudden we'll start doing like Jaeger or something like that. Dude, it fucks me up.
Yeah, that's what like when I start mixing alcohol, I feel like that's the worst hangover, especially if you're doing like, vodka cranberries or like double rum and cokes, and you're like, yo, I just took in like 200 grams of sugar tonight, and then the next day, like, oh, my brain hurts. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, you just dehydrated yourself, gave yourself a sugar crash, like
I had a ton of margaritas, man. And we've done that before. Like, Megan and I have gone out like Joe T. Garcia's and just getting hammered off like a pitcher.
Hell yeah.
Like, they'll have like whole pitchers they'll sell you.
That's dope.
Yeah.
What was your thought on the oil field? You were out there what was your actual job?
I worked for a couple different companies. Fesco was the first oil field job I worked for, and that was like production testing. So that's like after they've already created the well, like it's already producing oil and water and gas and shit. So you flow it back, and that's how I was kind of selling Darien the other day. It goes into like a big separator that separates it into gas, which goes out to a flare line, and then water, which goes into its own tank, and then the oil or the condensate, which already looked, I mean, it was like clear and yellow and white, and it looked like gasoline or something already.
Yeah.
Like a liquor kind of consistency. Yeah. Oh, which is why we want to talk about our next sponsor. No, but
I never gonna stop.
I never gonna stop with these sponsorship ads. All brand buds. Yeah. But no, we would do that, and then I got out of that job because it wasn't paying that good, and I went and moved to Corpus, like the actual city, because I was in Orange Grove for a little bit with my dad.
Where's that?
Orange Grove is like north of Corpus.
Okay.
Like on your way out, like Mathis and that area.
Oh,
but and then I got a different job with Baker Hughes, and we were in the frack side of it. So it was actually where the well is drilled and everything, but now the frack side goes in with like a frack gun that actually perforates and shoots holes into this, and then after that, then it can flow back.
Okay.
So it was different jobs in different oil fields, and then the very last job I got, I was in still in San Antonio. Was getting away and breaking up with my ex or whatever at the time, or splitting up with her, and then I got that job for the frack sand coordinator, and it was shitty, man. I mean, it was something I would recommend people to do in their young 20s, but it's one of those jobs that if you stick with it, that's like all you'll have and all you'll be able to do. Like, unless you get into like a management role there, you can always go to management somewhere else, kind of thing.
What was like? How much could you make a year, just like regular?
Anywhere from like 70 to 100,000. So it was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't bad in that sense. But when I first started off, it was making like $12 an hour, and the reason you would always get more money is if you were away from where you were normally stationed. So they would have us like. We would be out of Corpus, but sometimes we'd be far down south somewhere, 3 hours, 4 hours away, and so we'd have to either get a hotel or stay in like an RV, and just do the stuff on site there, and you'd get paid per diem plus like overtime, because they'd count as anytime you're gone from like their home office. It's 24 hours on the clock.
And so, was that like 4 weeks on, 4 weeks off for the oil field, or
no? Shit, it was way different in my first job, but my second one, it was like 11 days on, like 3 days off or something like that. Like, it was pretty hustle bustle.
I mean, put you up at like a little hotel that you guys are just like passing ships in the night. Like, you leave, guy comes in, just like that.
If it has day and night shifts, yeah, it was like there'd be one guy who would have, there were 2 beds, like 2 queen beds, and there'd be one guy who would be days, one guy would be nights, and they just you wouldn't see the next guy come in basically, because you would be the only time you'd see them was when you were on shift at the oil platform.
Okay. Yeah, it's just wild to me. Like it's, I don't know. You were like, oh, dude, you gotta sign up for this, and I was like, nah, that seems.
I mean, it was cool. I mean, it was. I wouldn't take it back. It would definitely help me at the time, and I even got fired from one oil field job, and I think for like 3 months I was collecting unemployment, and so
How'd you get fired?
It was just one. It was a stupid thing where they were one of the guys. I was in Pennsylvania at the time, right? They were flying us a month on, 2 weeks off.
Okay.
And we were just hustling and blowing and going, and one of the guys goes, "Hey, are we gonna be able to start on the next job as soon as you guys get done with here?" And there was stuff we needed to change out and do on the like a manifold type thing, so it'll make it safe to work on. And I was like, "Oh, we got to change out and do a bunch of things before we can go on to the next job." And my manager, I guess at the time, thought I was like turning down jobs, and he basically was like, "Oh, we gotta let you go," or whatever. And I mean, it wasn't something that the what is it, like the workforce commission thought was deemable to let me go, so that's why I got unemployment for a little while.
And what is unemployment again? You get like 75% of what you were making.
Yeah, usually
so
it's
making
like
$1,000,
70%.
A week.
Yeah, if you're doing well enough in the oil field, especially like they average everything together, it comes out to still pretty good.
And then you have to pay back that unemployment, right? Or no?
I think up to a certain amount, it's non-taxable. I think if you go more than like so many months, then they start taxing you a little higher or something. That's something you have to pay it back. But those are all like things that come out of your check in general.
Yeah, true.
So if you don't use it, it'll just never get used.
Well, I need to go on unemployment for a bit. You hear that? I'm never gonna stop quitting.
Yeah. It wasn't bad. I mean, it was definitely a moment where you're like, okay, I can kind of focus and try to just look for jobs and shit like that.
And you have to prove it, right? You're like, hey, I sent this application.
Not necessarily. I don't think until you go like 7 months or something like that. I never actually sent them any things saying like, hey, I'm finding this job or this job or this job. You just get a check.
That's so strange. I thought you'd like show you attempting to, or like, here's an application, I'm filling it out right now, but
it's only like that for like if you get basically audited, if they call back and try to see where you were looking.
The IRS don't fuck around.
Either way, I was still looking, but I just never uploaded anything like that or whatever.
That's cool. I'm gonna have to do that at some point. I just wish I would have taken advantage during COVID or something. Like, I just worked the whole time, paid my student loans down, I think, a little bit because there was no interest at the time or something.
Yeah, that's
like
a good
that.
thing.
But yeah, I was like, fuck, man, I'm the only guy on the goddamn highway driving around. I get a little stupid piece of paper saying I'm essential. I go up to a house, dude, with 2 big 5-gallon buckets of paint. We're doing stucco back then.
Yeah.
I'm walking up to the garage. I'm by myself during COVID, and a cop goes, I'm like, what's up? And he's like, put on a mask. I was like, I'm going to fucking put you through the wall, bitch. Like,
throws one out to you.
Yeah. Like,
put it on.
Buddy, I'm in an unlived-in house taking paint into the garage. Leave me alone. Like, oh, you're trying to be essential, and you're trying to be essentially a dick to me, boy.
Yeah. That's funny shit.
So what'd you think about our night out last night? I know you're fucking real tired. You're taking a couple cat naps or whatever, but it was his first rave. Took him to Dance Yourself Clean, which is just a DJ playing a bunch of hits and stuff, so it's nothing crazy. It's not like an Ember show where you give him a bracelet and he says, you're the hockey guy. But yeah, like, what'd you think of it?
It was pretty chill. It was a little, it's funny because it's like, you don't think you're getting old, but then it's like, dude, I haven't stayed up till like 4 a.m. and I can't tell you how long. So it was a bit much at the end there, and it was cool though. I just don't know any of the songs because it's like dance house beat type stuff. Sure. So it's just nothing that I can like super vibe out to and be like, oh, I know this one.
You didn't like the Taylor Swift one?
They played Taylor Swift for a second there, yeah. Like, ooh.
Yeah, I mean, that was a little bit bigger of a place than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be more intimate, like 200, 250, but I felt like we were in like the 5s and 6s almost.
It was a big place, yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. I just, with those ones or like other ones, I just get like a little overstimulated. Like, that's why I had the glasses and everything on, like trying to meditate, figure something out there. But yeah, sometimes it's too much. I was like, oh shit, maybe Dan's just gonna like shut down and be like, this sucks. Like, this is way too many people. Like,
it was something else for sure.
I mean, that's like, you would need to listen to a guy for a week or two and be like, all right, cool, I want to go to this guy in April, and I'd be like, all right, sweet. So at least you'd have some kind of setup for it. But yeah, I mean, I try to meet all these guys, get a picture, give them something, tell them a funny story that whatever I did with their music helped this thing happen or whatever. Oh, like, you know, that one girl I was with, Valencia, come on the show, Valencia. We were out after a Wookiee concert or show, and then we walk up to Shalu, who's a DJ that we like, and she's like, "Oh my God, like, you know, I was in a bad breakup. My fiance kicked it off with some other chick and left me in the dust, and I listened and cried to your album the whole time."
Oh,
like,
shit.
it's like, fuck, man, that's pretty intense for the guy to hear. And I'm like, I just like you. Can we have a picture? Like, shit, but. I guess they get that all day, right? And I was like, shit, that guy with the mustache on the bird scooter, that's gotta be Shallow. Because I knew he was playing a concert there that night. I just had to pick which one. And I'd just seen him like 3 months before, so I was like, eh. But yeah, so I wasn't sure what you thought of it. I mean, I think the going to the after party stuff, that's where I was like, oh, fuck. Like, I don't know who told him about Kingdom or whatever, but
I think
was
we
like,
walked past it, but
okay, I just
it's
saw
all good.
one.
No, it was just, yeah, it was a bit much. That was funny. I was like, you got another beer? It's like, oh, they got waters.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I was like, I don't want water.
Right.
Like, that's what you're drinking anyway, Dad.
Right.
So, do you still have a dream? Is there something that you want to do? Create a business? Like, go work for another company? Like, whatever? Like, do you still believe in a dream? Like, or is it just kind of like, whatever, I just kind of go with the flow and bounce jobs? And...
Shit, no, I never had a dream ever. No, I want to win the lottery, dude. That's fucking, that's my dream. I know it's not like super practical or whatever.
Would you just disappear?
No, I don't know if I'd disappear. I would definitely set myself up. Like, if I won like the lottery now, it's like 500 to 300 million. So imagine you get 150, 200 million taken off of that. You get the rest of that for your life. I feel like it'd be easy for me. I'd be like, okay, cool. I'd have maybe a couple houses or one house for sure. That everything would be paid off. Same thing with a car. I'd have a dope car, and I would probably start like a few businesses though, like the Papa Murphy's, like some of the shit like that. Stuff that I could believe in. That's kind of low risk, high reward. I feel like over time, it's like I own this bitch, so even if I go and don't do well, like at least I still have this to fall back on. But just the money with interest alone, like a couple $100 million in the bank, interest over that per year has to be like at least $100 grand, I would imagine.
Yeah, and just paying in your salary is just your interest off your fucking.
I feel like I would just work out and enjoy the day all day, and then like go to hockey games and.
Like, how nice is it today that we can just, like, wake up, we don't have to be anywhere, have a few beers, maybe go play some hockey later, like, I don't know. I just wish that was every day. Like, it just sucks that tomorrow I'm going to have to be up at 7:30, getting in that fucking work truck, doing the rinse and goddamn repeat of my life again. It's like,
it'd be like, what do they call it, which isn't a great idea, but Joe Rogan talks about it. It's, what is it? Income, where you get universal basic income.
Yeah, universal income. Yeah,
so like anybody just gets to chill out and like they get paid to live and they don't have to have a job and.
Yeah, and like, oh, I don't want to work for a month. Cool, like I'm fine. And then you're like, oh fuck, I'm unmotivated. I need to go be a doctor, and you just like take off. But yeah, I don't. Like I look at these other countries, right, where they're like, oh, we get 4 months off a year. It's like government mandated, like not all at once, right? But like. What the fuck? I get 2 weeks off a year, and I have to battle with them to even get those 2 weeks. And like, oh, hey, you're going over your amount of time off. Like, bro, I put in 5 years in this bitch. Like, fucking pay me back with some respect and like fucking.
Usually they're pretty good with us, like when I want to go on vacation or stuff like that. But nowadays, like, he can't even make it to where my schedule is. Like, if I wanted to take 3 days off but didn't want to use PTO, he would just make it to where I'd work up until those days, and then those become my days off. Be like, you'll work Monday through Thursday, and then you'll have Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. You know, something like that. And then Monday the next day, or something, you know, like something random. So it's like, cool, those are just my days off. I don't have to fuck with my PTO.
I don't know how you and some other people do it, where it's like different shifts and times and days, and I'm like, what the fuck? Give me my 9 to 5 or 8 to 4, whatever you want to do. Give me that, my weekends off, because I can't fucking.
We get like a 3-week rotation, so like this weekend is I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off.
Wow.
So it's 5 days total, but it's Monday and Tuesday on 1 week, and Friday and Saturday on the first week. So they're different weeks, but you still have 2 days off, and then the third day is that combined Sunday day.
That's crazy. 5. Like, yeah, when I would do like the 5 days off and then hit the weekends, or maybe take off early on Friday or Monday, come back in late. It's just crazy to me that we live in a country like that. It's just worker bees. But I mean, there's a lot of shit going on. Like, I'm a construction guy, so it's like we got to build this fucking city, dude. Let's put some bricks and stones and roofs on. So, yeah. Anyways, do you think... I have a quote from Joey on this little D1 Bike Club card. It's actually my quote that I took from somebody else. But do you think that life's too short to take seriously? Because I just feel like it's like, so many people, like even just today we're at HEB, right? Like everyone's like, fucking, it's like, dude, chill out. Like I know most people are hungover or, bad things happen. I get it. Like I have those days too, but it's just like seems too consistent. Like just everybody's in a fucking mood and you're like, yo, like what's really that bad about your life? Like you gotta go back to your fat wife or I don't know.
I think it's always good to have an air of funny or whatever, not take everything too seriously. But yeah, it is weird recently. I think there's just always shittier drivers on the road and
that one dude almost hit the curb today. Like,
oh
what
man,
are you doing, bro? Like,
I think it's just dumber people. Like you come up, I was telling Megan, you come up to what was a red light, or like they're slowing down to a red light, and then they decide, all right, I'm gonna get my phone, or I'm gonna start jumping into something else, and I'm behind them, and I see the light turn green, and I'm like, and then I'm like, burn, I'm like, come on, what the fuck, hurry up, like, let's go.
Yeah.
This shit takes forever, and I'm just like, you're killing me. Like, just pay attention.
There's just so many people here now too. Like the traffic. Like it used to take me 18 to 20 minutes to get to the rink. Now it's telling me like 30, 35. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like just all these fucking people are moving up here, and I'm a little bit outside Austin, but yeah, we're just building this bitch out. Like it's insane how many houses and apartments and fuck. Like how are we gonna be able to sustain this? Like it's just. Like in Leander right now, fucking fuck you, city inspector, what the fuck your name is, your diabetes sucks. So like I get to Leander and this guy's kicking my masons off the job site. And they're like, here's you, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know, I'm gonna go talk to this bitch. Yeah. I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, they gotta go home or I'll give you $1,000 fine. I'm like, for what? And he's like, there's no water restrictions here in Leander. I'm like, the fucking sprinklers are on in the streets right now. What is going on? So I just felt targeted, right? I'm like, why are you coming at me? I know I'm on the outskirt of the house, so you can see the scaffold, and it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. But he's like, you gotta shut down. You gotta send your guys home. I'm like, no, we're gonna finish today, and someone should give me a heads up like 2 weeks ago so I could plan for this. So I order 1,100 gallons of water. I have to go pick up the drums, go pick up the fucking chains. I feel like fucking Rampage Jackson over my shoulder walking up, locking them up to the house. Like these things are expensive, like 250 gallons per house I need.
Oh man, that's a lot.
So I have a water guy. He's like, I'll be there Monday to refill them. Shit, baby. Like, what the fuck? Like, but like I'm doing the builder's job. I feel like we will back charge them and get the money. We'll probably make a nice profit on this. Maybe Kyle needs a raise or a bonus, but. It's like, why am I doing this? And like one builder's like, oh, we need this house done by Monday. You need to go pick up a strap of brick from Elgin, which is an hour and a half away. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I'm going out on a limb for all these people, and I just feel underappreciated all the time. Like, it's like, I don't get it. I'm doing your fucking job for you. When that freeze happened a few weeks ago, all the builders like, hey man, I already left the neighborhood. Can you go drain the lines at this house for me?
Oh shit.
No, bitch. You make $175K. You drive back. Fucking get in your helicopter and come back over and drain the lines. Like that's not on me. Like, and yeah, they probably got some fucking dude just stop by and do it. I don't even know how to do that. So I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? But yeah, people are like, oh hey, it's raining. You need to put plastic over your brick. No, I fucking don't.
Right.
Like, it'll dry out tomorrow. Like, what is, like, these fucking... I get it with the homeowners, right? Because, you're putting your life savings into a house, right? So say you're buying a $750,000 house. You're putting it all on the line. You're going to live paycheck to paycheck. Kind of seems miserable. But you have a roof over your head, and hopefully that's an investment. That's a lot of house, though. Yeah. No, like, this one's, like, what, 3? Maybe 405 if you're lucky. Like, maybe at the peak of it, 405. But that's crazy.
This is a dope house, too. Like, these kind of houses are expensive, so...
I just hope that this puppy I get doesn't fuck everything up because I love all the setup, I love all the furniture and everything. And I'm like,
gotta cage him up, dog.
Yeah, no, that's definitely gonna happen. Because if I get in here and eat my fucking D1 Bike Club 1 of 1, pamphlet and eat my fucking toys and Funkos and all my friends' gifts, I'm gonna be fucking rattled.
Right back to that dog pound, dog.
Let the dogs out.
Back to the dog pound.
Are you a shoe guy? Like, do you like shoes, or are you just like, fuck it, it's on my feet, protects me? Or
that's
like,
so funny you ask. No, man. I mean, I will wear, like, there's certain shoes, like, I'm like, oh, cool, this is a dope shoe, this is a nice Nike or Jordan or whatever, but, man, I love me some sandals. It's funny, because just being out in Texas, like, most of the year, you can have sandals, and then, like, later on when it gets cold, I'll actually wear, like, Uggs, like, slip-on moccasins and shit, and they're so nice, so...
I have way too many shoes. I have way too many fucking hats. I have way too much clothes. That's why I gave you that shirt. I'm like, just take it. I don't need this shit. Like, it's insane. But yeah, I think it was my uncle Jason that got me into shoes at first. He had like the ones with like the fucking pump ups and like the Reebok pump its, and then there's the hockey skates too. I was hoping one of those pairs were in the garage, but they always bust out because it's plastic. But yeah, he had like all the ones with like a little bubble at the back, like kind of like see through, and like he had all these Nikes and shit. I was like, oh fuck, that's cool, but like I'm a kid, like I don't really like that, like I don't really like. You're not gonna go get cool shoes for a 7-year-old, like
right
now you can, but back then it's like, oh, here's these Oshkosh bagosh, bitch, put them on your fucking feet. So yeah, once I got the capital to be able to buy whatever the fuck I want whenever I want, I went through those LaMelo balls, got 3 pairs of those, Dexter's Laboratory, purple and pink, all green for coaching, La France's, and they're like $150 max. Like that's not too bad. But
I've got a couple, like I got like 1 or 2 pair of Jordan 1s, and then just those Nike, and then like pretty much that's about it.
What does a Jordan 1 go for? Like when
depends on the ones you get, like maybe 100 to like 200.
That's not bad.
Yeah, but
like say like 4 or 5.
Yeah, like the Jordan 11s are like 350, maybe like 275 on the low end, but they're wicked expensive. They're nice. They're really sick looking. They go with everything.
Yeah, I was worried about Darian last. He just went and took all my wardrobe, and he was like, "Let's go." And I'm like, "What?" And you did too, but not like to the extent he did. He had like $1,000 worth of my clothes on. I'm like, "Yo, like
that's funny."
Those shoes are worth at least $550. Like we got them for $250. Like they're the Negro League, whatever secret editions. I just got it because I liked Cobra Starship back in the day. I looked just like that guy's shoes, so I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's get those and dance." But I probably worn them like 10 times, and I was like, shit, he's going to take those. He's going to leave. I'm sure I can track him down. I know where he lives.
You got an air tag in him.
But yeah, then I guess he took my hoodie. I don't know. Darian gave me my hoodie back. That's from Juro. There's also a coffee stain on it. She's probably pretty dumb out there in the streets wearing that shit.
That's funny, yeah.
Do you think hair is powerful? My grandma once told me that, like, your hair is your power, like, you can, like, own it. She's always going in and getting that fucking big machine on her and, like, doing all the shit and dyeing her hair and stuff, but, some people don't give a fuck about hair, like, whatever, just grow this thing out, and I go to the barbershop every quarter, or, like, whatever, or, like, my uncle, he's going to get his hair cut every 2 weeks to make sure it looks tight, like, I feel like, in his eyes, it's like, if you have a good haircut and you're always trimmed up, like, you're a professional. Like, look, that guy gets it. Like, he's got a skincare routine.
I feel like it does make a difference, truthfully, like you're saying. I mean, there is some guys who can pull off the whole bald look. My brother's bald and shit like that, but, yeah, having a good hairstyle, it's like, oh, cool. Like, it's well sculpted or well, like, maintained.
I think the same with a beard, right? Like, do you ever go in, like, get yours tapped up or, like, shaped up?
Not really. I do my own for the most part. Okay. I mean, I've gone there too, but like sometimes they suck and they don't get like I'm like real specific about how I do my shit now. And like my brother, he's become a barber and he's actually done pretty well and trimmed me up and got me on my way or whatever. But like most of the time, if I don't trust him, I'll just do it myself.
Yeah, like I saw Sarab after Nicole, the girl that cuts my hair. Nicole come on the podcast. So I saw him after he got like pretty much shaved his head. He can pull out bald. I guess it's just what he has to do because he's got no fucking hair. And then she did up his fucking beard and put beard oil in and shit. And I was like, God damn, that's a good looking motherfucker. Like, I never thought of Sarab like that. I'm like,
that's
fuck,
funny.
You're attractive. And then like he just gave up on that whole thing. It's like maybe just go in like every month or 2 months. I don't know.
It is harder to maintain with the fuller the beard. I mean, it is more bullshit to have to do. Like you have to put more oil more often.
Yeah.
Keep it hydrated, otherwise it'll start getting cracks.
Would you dye yours? Like, I feel like it's kind of strange when you're 55 or something and you have like a blacked out beard.
And she was like, "Oh, okay." Like she knows I'm fucking around most of the time, anyways. So she's like, "Oh, okay." But I was like, "Yeah, I'll just dye this fucker black again." It's like a professional wrestler type shit.
Yeah, you look like Garth Brooks, and you're like, "The fuck, dude? Your hair does not look like that. Where are the bodies, Garth?"
It's crazy. It'd be weird to see it as all dark again. It'd look young as fuck.
When was the last time you shaved it like completely off, like just
probably
bald?
Like 4 years ago.
4 years. How long does it take you to get to that? Like, is that
maybe like a couple, like a week or two?
Jesus Christ!
This is like a 3 all the way with like just
that's a
trimmers. 3? Yeah,
5.
I did a trimmer the other day, and it was just like all 3s, like up and down. But
what's your haircut when you go in? You say like faded up on the sides.
I tell them like scissor cut on top.
Yeah.
And then like fade it into like a 2 or 1.5.
Okay. Yeah, I usually go bald fade. If I'm fat, I'm going high fade, so that makes you look skinnier, like your head. I go mid fade now. But yeah, I had to go through this Asian lady the other day. Nicole, I guess I thought I had put it for Thursday last week for my appointment, so I just show up, and I'm
Yeah.
like, where's Nicole? And they're like, she's not here, she didn't work today. I'm like, oh, shit. And I'm like, can you check the book? She's like, yeah, it's next Thursday you're signed up for, dude. I'm like, oh, I need a haircut before Nashville. And they're like, okay. I had that shitty mustache. And I was like, can you please fix this? Like, please help me. I don't know what to be an adult's like. And so she, like, trimmed it up, made it look good. And, like, the mole kind of roughs it up because it, like, has more hair and it kind of looks like it's longer.
Oh, okay.
So she did what she could do there. Yeah, it's just not the same. Like, I need Nicole back in my life. Yeah, I always thought about hair as something powerful, right? Like my grandma, like she said. But then when I went and got my hair cut by Benji from Good Charlotte in Baltimore. Like I don't know if he was an assistant.
He cuts hair.
He used to. That was like his job before they became famous. I wanna be like just
by
teenage yank. Yeah. So I don't know if he was just an assistant or whatever. My grandma told me. I don't remember him, but it's not like I would know him either, right? Like from back then, like looking at like, purple hair, bitch.
Like,
yeah, that's Cameron.
Is that the one he's with?
Yeah, or was. I think she's single now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like whenever I get a faux hawk like cut up or like whatever that little trim that I got the other day or like oh shit like I look good now, but like most people that like that big 7'2" guy today, he doesn't give a fuck about his hair. Like he's just like be by faux foam and like walking around just like untrimmed and like just looks like he probably sits at home plays Dungeons and Dragons all day. But,
listeners
like,
out there, we found a monster at HEB, and we're both probably about 5'11", close to 6 foot. This motherfucker had to be every inch of 7'5", almost 8 feet tall. He was double your size.
Yeah, you're like
he came around. You were going straight, and he came around the corner, and it was like the entire shelf high. And I was like, holy shit, he's like 3.5 feet taller than you. It's like I just pictured him fucking like just bopping you on, and you're just like fucking crumbling like over. I was like, holy shit, this is a monster among men. Like, what is this guy eating?
Well, it's so weird. Like I said to you, like I don't understand when you're that big, but you don't do anything with it. Like he's like
I don't know how you're not like a defensive
something.
tackle or some shit like fucking.
At least for the beginning of your life, like whatever your potential is at 18, 19, 20, like get a full ride for football or something. Just stand there, push guys over, and then I don't like football that much. I don't want to play pro. I don't want to do this, but I just made a bunch of money. Or I got a fucking college education out of it. See you later. But
things that always get me are the kickers. It's like at a point, I feel like I could fucking be an extra point kicker.
Yeah, I can't believe like
there's field goal kickers that are different than extra points and shit like that. Yeah. And then the
do you think you could hit one from 30 yards?
I think I could hit one from 30 yards. Okay. I don't know. Gronk sucked the other day. Did you see that fucking kick of destiny too? So gay. Oh, they did a second one. Yeah.
He missed it again.
Yeah, it's just funny because the commercials are hilarious with him and John Cena. You're gonna miss Gronk.
I can't believe like that commercial with the AARP or whatever. He's like, "Oh, military, I can be in it." Like, no, you can't. It's just for the military and their families. I'm like,
oh man,
shut the fuck up. Like, how
I like USA. I want my dad to get through, get to them, but he fucking hasn't made an account. I'm like, hurry up. This is like my.
They don't just do it for you. Like, hey, you're in the Army. This is your new account.
Well, it's like you can only do it if your parents have done it prior. So like he won't open up a new account. I don't know why, but. Like put $5 in there. Just make an account, and I can get them for insurance and savings.
Are they that good? Like
supposedly USA is supposed to be really good.
I just feel like they're doing so many ads. Like what the fuck? Why you add so much? Like, and then it's for a specific group of people. Like if I were to marry into it or something, cool. But like I can't get that shit. So stop fucking putting it on every commercial on the fucking NFL Sunday.
Yeah, USAA is supposed to be really good. No free ads.
I'm sure they like. I don't know, just have better standards, or like it's probably military ran, so it's like this is what you fucking get. We're not.
I think that's the thing too, is they get like better credit approvals, credit ratings, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know anything about being an adult. I just know how to play hockey, and that's it. Like I have no life skills.
I'm starting to get it. And it's still tough for me.
Like I just got an IRA account like a month ago. How fucking stupid is that? I could have put that $1,000 in there 10 years ago, and I don't know what.
Luckily, I have a 401k with work, but
see that's crazy too. Like my company doesn't offer shit because we're so small, right?
It's so nice having this big company.
So how does that work again? You sign up for a 401k, they take a part of your paycheck, put it in there every week.
They match up to 8 or 7%, right, of your paycheck. So if you put in 2% of your paycheck, say you make $1,000, it comes out to like $20 or something, right? Maybe something. I don't know the math on that, but if you make that and then you put that in, they'll match that amount. But if you only do 2%, you're leaving a lot of percentage there on the table, they say. So it's good to like just put the max up on there, and that's what I do. And then I've got a decent amount in my 401k now. But the only thing is like you're not fully vested with that 401k until like 5 years. So if I left now, I would only get like the portion of money that I put into it. I don't get what my work matches me, and so that would suck. I would only get like a little bit.
And when can you start taking out of that? Like,
I think you can take out at any time, but you have to
pay a penalty.
Pay it back while like after you take it out.
Okay. 'Cause, yeah, with my Fidelity thing, it's like, oh, you can get this at 65. I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna make it to 65 with the rate I'm fucking kicking the cans. Like, it's. I don't know.
I think up until you're 65, there's like a penalty.
Yeah.
With taxes, so they'll charge you like a percentage more to take it, or so like a certain more percentage, and then if you don't do it until you're 65 or something like that, you don't have to worry about that penalty.
Yeah. I'm like, with the way the world goes and the lifestyle I live, like that guy last night fucking calling that other dude the N-word and like trying to fight him. I'm like, there's gonna be a gun. We literally had to cross the street. I go up to a burrito place and I'm gonna get that money back, boy. You fucked me over too, like you did with that other dude. So I walk up to a taco truck at like what was it, 4 in the morning, 3:30.
Well, that's why he was getting shit on because fucking he was charging people double. He's like, you a liar. Now I know it's actually now I am on that dude's team.
So we're on 6th Street. I'm like, boys, we gotta get some food, but nothing's open, right? So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do a little weasel way here. I'm gonna
taco stand.
See this guy like packing up. I'm like, yo, can you give me 3 burritos or whatever they were? And he's like, yeah, for sure, man. It's gonna be a little extra. And I'm thinking $40 max. I look at my credit card today, $92 I was charged. I'm like, I didn't even tip
burrito.
This guy. Like, or maybe I did. Maybe that's where it all came. Maybe it was $40. I'm like, here's a 50. Thanks for your time. Like,
oh shit! You fucking tipped him $50.
So that's what I'm wondering. I gotta go. I need a receipt. But yeah, I'm gonna challenge that one because those weren't even that good. We threw one away, so like fuck that. But yeah, so then the guy's still packing up, gives me my burritos. We're eating them, having a great time, trying to sober up, and then we're waiting on our Uber. Is that what we're doing?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, wait on our Uber. So I'm like, here you go, boys. Surprise! Coach Kyle got you fucking food. Yeah, Coach Kyle.
Coach Kyle.
And then this black kid comes by with 2 friends. How old do you think it was? Like 24?
They all had to be like mid to early 20s.
Okay, so yeah, they walk by and they're hooty hoo, like, you know, whatever, being cool. And then the fucking guy at the taco stand just opens the door. He's like, ah, yo, motherfucker, Edward. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I think he finally did call him the N-word.
Yeah, that's why I was like, yo, but he's like, I can say, like, in his mind, he's like, I can say that. I'm like, I don't know, man. When I see, like, Puerto Ricans and stuff saying it, like, no, you're not supposed to say
I was ready.
that.
I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be bad. So I was like, I gotta get across the street. I'm not trying to get caught up in some fucking gang violence. Gang violence.
Yeah, I was like scared. I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. I walk around like I'm the fucking man, but in the back of my head, I'm like, you don't have anything to. You could fight. That's about it. And like, you get stabbed, we're not gonna make it.
I was gonna say, fuck. That's a different thing. They fucking got knives and shit on them.
And they were just like sitting there talking shit to each other.
I didn't have none of my guns.
None of my guns were there. My guns. My gun has a gun. But yeah, I just was. That's like a sketchy. And were you the one that was like, let's fucking cross the street?
I think
I
said like, something, and then I
go.
think he already was like damn near over there. Like he was trying to cross too. I was like, all right.
Yeah, that's fucking. And that guy's gonna be there tomorrow. That taco stand, like you could just show up and sucker punch that bitch. Like, that's if you're stationary, that's kind of sketchy. Maybe it'll go.
I know where you coming. I know where you living. That was crazy.
Yeah, 6th Street's just too much for me. That's why I like going to the concourse. Like Kingdom's on 7th, so you were there, but like the real concert with real people and you can drink. So I like that place. Then I just try to dip out by like 1:30 so that I don't have to deal with all the drunk drivers and shit.
Yeah.
And if you do get out at 2, it's crazy. You walk out and there's some fat Mexican chick that's like half in the bag and she's falling into the street with high heels on and dudes are fighting in their cars. Like, oh, fuck you, I'll fuck you up. You want to race? And like, that was just like pure chaos. And like we kind of were in the after hours of that. It was almost like way too demon-y time. So we saw some of the underbelly of downtown, but yeah, like, you know, Straub goes to a concert, there's a shooting, so everyone has to sneak out the back door. It's like, that's a lot for me, man. Like, I don't want my mom to get a call and be like, yo, 6th Street, this is Dan.
Yeah, 6th Street's nuts. I remember back in the day, like, people used to try to grab other people, like, while they're walking by, they'd try to, like, fucking fill up for a boob or some crazy shit like that.
Yeah. I've had thoughts like that at HEB today. That lady with the red pants or a little short, I was like, damn, that girl works out, but... yeah, I'm not gonna act on that. Like, that's crazy.
Like at 6th Street, that shit happens.
Oh, my mom got groped by fucking Barkley in Houston when he was playing for the Rockets. They were upstairs in like the Belfry Club after, and he just saw my mom's ass and came and got a handful.
Okay.
I'm like, I don't know if she ever told Brent
Oh,
that.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, I'm like, Jesus, dude. Like, I guess it's a good little story, but like, it's kind of fucked up that that's just like allowed. Like, she didn't say anything, or maybe she like winked at him. I have no idea, but like, I feel like she, you know, nowadays you're going to jail, sir. Like, that's assault. Like, you're done. Like,
here's your pepper.
Here's your pepper. All right, so what do you keep your house temperature at? Like, if I'm feeling it, and I, you know, say the winter and summer, right? So
normally, I keep it around 72. But if it's like super cold outside, then we're putting the heat up to like 73, 74. But
damn,
maybe like usually 72 though, just to keeps it at like a nice base. But if it's like super cold out, and then we'll amp the heat up for like a few minutes in the house. Mm-hmm. Get everything nice and warm, but we've had some freezes hard as fuck up there. And
no, you guys are way north of me too, like 3 hours north.
And then we got a little fireplace that we fuck with too.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I thought about putting one out there. You think it's a waste of?
Yeah,
I don't know.
But
we get the one fucking Snoop Dogg tricked everybody into fucking bullshit.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I want to do all this cool stuff here, like get a hot tub. But then I want a real hot tub. I want to get a sauna because I don't have to call Darian every week and be like, hey, can I go get in the sauna at your work?
I would just get a high-end blow-up hot tub. At least you can empty it out and move it away if you want like extra space. Or
I feel like Terry's just gonna go up to him and scratch it.
Oh,
and
that
it's
would
just gonna be gallons of water. I'm like,
you just got to get some fucking Flex Seal on that.
They said that the floor's been replaced twice here. My brother-in-law.
They look nice.
Really?
I wouldn't have guessed.
They look really cool when they're dancing. And you're like, whoa, this looks like an ocean. Like, that's the cool times. I should have helped you out with that. But yeah, I guess they've been replaced. And then Nails, when he came over to do the interview, he like just knocked on the floor when he walked in the door. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
knocked on the floor.
Yeah, like he's just like,
he's all, this has been done before.
Yeah, like I was like, what are you doing? He didn't answer me. So I'm like, okay, maybe he's like making sure they're hardwood or laminate. I don't know. What are floors made of? Giraffe. So for me, if it's like the summertime, I'm like 73 to 75 because I just don't want to pay the bill. Like
I like it hotter, like you're saying, but Megan's always like, oh, she can't do it. She feels sticky.
It's sticky. Drink some water. But yeah, and then like in the winter, I'm down to keep that bitch at like 65 because the perfect temperature for sleep is 67 degrees. If you need to know.
So nice.
So that's where I go. But if it gets under that, like 65, and I have a weighted blanket and then another blanket on top of that, so like I'm good.
It's nice when it's cool though, and you have like a blanket in hand.
Yeah, no. I mean, there's so many fucking blankets in this house. It's outrageous, and like a quarter of them are not mine. With like little D1 Bike Club blanket, and then the Boston Bruins blanket, and then fucking the blanket for your bed in there, and then a blanket. I'm like, god damn, dude, why do I have so much fucking shit? Like, it's wild to me just walking out there. Like, I spent $300 at H-E-B today, and I still forgot 5 things I was supposed to get. Like, it would have been like a $325 trip, but I also had to like replenish stuff, like paper towels, you know, all that bullshit. But yeah, I just I don't know. There's just so much crap, and especially like this room. Like this is $1,000 plus at least. I mean, the mics are $250 each. The fucking signage up there is $400. Then you gotta buy the brick, and you gotta get a mason to come over. Just kidding. That's just paste on. But like all this shit. Like I didn't.
Like you got some faults in the line here. I gotta.
Well, that stair step cracking. That's normal. This house is adjusting. It's moving. I can make up bullshit all day for masonry, dude.
Jeez.
No. People will freak out
it's gonna balance out over time.
It's like people like they have limestone houses, or like there's like a big, you know, there's a house above them, and then they have the limestone like base like to block it.
Right.
And then during the freezes, the water will penetrate. They're porous, right? So the water will get in the limestone, and it'll freeze, and then the face will fall off. So it's just the face, not the full stone, right? Like, it's not all gonna fall off. But they're like, hey, what do we do? Like, well, my whole house is falling apart. I'm like, no, it's not. It's totally fine. This is normal. Let me tell you. And like, you know, different things like if it snows here and it ices on your roof, and then it turns into damming, which is when it gets down to your gutters, and then all that water as it melts is going to go in the shingles and then into your house, then mold damage, then new roof, then I make money at my company. But yeah, with damming was a big thing during that freeze as well. It's like, fuck, man, I didn't know that there's all these little... That's just masonry and roofing. Like, stucco and, like, all the shit. The expansion joints and the fucking... Like, you can put, like, little wire where your weep holes are. That's just for the water to drain if it gets behind the wall.
You're trying to make my brain explode, Kyle? No, it's crazy, like, in Dallas, too, where like the high buildings, and they'll have a bunch of ice on them, like or big like
icicles
that
like
are
bro,
fucking,
that
like,
comes down and cuts you in
like
half.
yeah, it comes down and like destroys cars and just random shit like that.
What's your favorite part of Dallas? I liked where the beer is.
Where the beer is,
Deep
he
Eddy?
says.
Deep Ellum.
Deep Ellum.
Ellum. Okay, so I like that because Allie took me there for my birthday. Fucking went to the brewery. There's no food or anything. A food truck was there, but like they're building their own kitchen and everything. Cool, but I'm sure I've heard it's like kind of dangerous there.
Dude, I've never gone. I've always been like nervous because every time I see and hear them on TV, it's always like multiple shots, stabbings. Like it's just the most type of bullshit like you don't want to deal with. Just like the end of the other night in 6th Street, it was just like that. I was like, oh boy.
Yeah,
I don't want to get fucking killed without my burner on me.
And y'all got like all kinds of bullshit there, like England's included, little gangsters, fucking like so many people, very big coke culture from what I saw when I was there.
Yeah.
So like those things all mixed together never ends up well.
Right.
Like, is that the most dangerous part of Dallas, Deep Ellum?
I don't think it's the most dangerous part by any means. Did you see that thing I sent you the other day where it was like black guy shoots black woman, and it was like they were both playing basketball like
oh my
over
God.
a pickup basketball game?
And it was like his boyfriend, girlfriend. Like, what are you doing? Like,
I don't know what it was, but that's crazy to me. And that is why I play organized sports.
yeah. Can you imagine there's like a pickup hockey rink here and like I don't think I would fight, but man, no, actually, I think there would be some fights.
Cap, center ice. It's like blah, 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 blah. It's like,
I never will stop shooting people at the basketball court.
That is how we won the game.
That's it. We're calling it. You win.
Dead. The other team need 5 players to play.
Have you ever been in a hockey fight?
Yeah, oh yeah.
How many do you think you had?
At least like 3 or 4.
Is that men's league or is this like
yeah,
a
pretty
buddy
much.
that pissed you off?
I don't think I ever got in one in high school.
Yeah, and in high school, would you be like kicked out of the league or something for fighting? I don't really know how.
I don't
it
know.
works.
It was cages, anyways. So
That's true. 'Cause, yeah, I remember back in the day, like, or do you know, like in Europe, and maybe this has changed, but like if you take your gloves off to fight, the game ends. They just call it, and like, no refund. Everyone go home.
The international is
Like, what
way
the fuck?
different for that.
Yeah.
Like you're not even supposed to fight when they play IHF and all that stuff. It's like that's like a match penalty there.
Yeah, now you're a referee, so I guess that's
Yeah, that's real. They take it real serious. Did you ever see the end of the Sweden USA gold game? It was recent, the IHF.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's a crazy one to pull up.
And what was it? They just started fighting?
Yeah, at the end, like it was like 1 or 2 of those guys, and it was like Sweden was getting their ass beat at home.
Canada's got 6 guys in the background banging
Well,
out a
it
chick.
was USA.
Oh, USA. Never mind.
It was USA.
Just
Canada
Patrick
got
Kane was there.
yeah. Canada got taken out early, and so it was USA beating them. It was like 6-3 or 6-2. Like it was real bad, and then they're blowing kisses to the camera, really making them eat shit at their own home.
Yeah, that sucks. Especially, like, I always tell these kids, like, at our rink, like, hey, don't let anybody come in here, kick the fucking door, and take your girlfriend out to dinner. This is our fucking house. And we just go out there and get fucking
I'm surprised that some of these celebrations they let them get away with, where they're like they'll score a goal and then they'll go by the other team's bench and be like, like just fucking like this is like the worst shit.
Well,
The coach is like, what the fuck is that?
I think, like, none of these kids are checked, right? Like,
Yeah.
you control, you can say all this shit behind a keyboard and hide. And
Until you get hit.
Yeah, and then, like, motherfucker, you need to punch in the goddamn mouth. Like, who the fuck are you behind your goddamn keyboard chirping me about my fucking tattoo or, like, whatever it is, right? Like, bitch, come say that to my fucking face and see how that works out. Like, everybody's a fucking troll now. I do it a little bit, but I'll step up for myself. Someone's like, hey, meet me at the fucking gas station. I'll be there in 5, bitch. So, like, I don't understand, like, all these kids, like, can say all this shit. Like, kids are like, fuck you, Coach Kyle. It's like, no, fuck you, dude. Like, I'm here to, I don't know. It just pisses me off because, like, none of these kids get checked. And, like, the other day, some of the kids, like, was a little fat shaming going on. The other kid looks like the Bucky Beavers. They're just chirping back and forth. I'm like, fucking hit him.
Yeah.
Like, fucking punch him in the mouth, and I guarantee you guys never talk again. Or your best friends, or you go right back to it. I don't know. But I think some of these fucking kids, and just people in general, need to be checked. Like, like, you don't fucking run these streets like I do. Like, you want to run into a savage, I'll fucking show you what the fuck we do. Like, it pisses me off that nobody's ever fucking... That you don't have there's no risk reward for it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'd say whatever I want, be a wild boy, and nothing's gonna come for me. Well, guess what, motherfucker? I'm here. Like, it's just, I'm him. I'm here.
I'm here. I'm here.
So yeah, I was just like, I don't understand. Like, just, and it's gonna suck for those kids once they like get their first heartbreak or like get in the real world or like mommy and daddy
Right.
aren't there anymore, dude. Like, you gotta fucking.
I have
this
no
out.
one to blame but myself.
It's like, so yeah, like when you're just
Start
catered to your whole life, and especially like I'm just getting a certain breed, right? Like rich kids, because you can't play hockey without money, or unless you're getting it subsidized, or someone's helping you out, or like your grandma's paying for it. But like those are well-off families. You go to their houses and you're like, God damn, you live on fucking Lake George. I don't even know you could build a house over here. Like just fucking monster house, the pool, and like God damn, but like.
Oh, it is
that
crazy.
kid's it's gonna suck when they get fired from their first job, or like they don't make the team that they wanted to, or like all these kids like, oh yeah, I'm moving to Wisconsin to play hockey. Fuck, what?
Yeah, when I played men's league, I'm just bringing up the house because you were talking about it or whatever. There was one guy who we ended up having like a barbecue or dinner over at his place, and like he had a pool, hot tub, like a tennis court, like a basketball court. Like I mean, just it was so nice. And I was like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah, those guys.
Old money. I come from old money.
I come from old money. What was his joke? I come from old money.
I forgot what he says exactly, but he's like, yeah, I come from old money.
Here's just a picture of Grimace at the when the Berlin Wall came down.
Borrow the Berlin Wall with Grimace.
What the fuck?
No big deal.
I got a bunch of them. I got old money. Just starts
I come
throwing
from
them
old
around.
money.
Dude.
I got a lot of them. I come from old money.
He'd be a good guy to see too. That's high energy. Like, holy shit, who the fuck is this guy? Like, his opener can't even get you warmed up for that. Like, that's like
He trips me out when he's like
doing the crab.
Yeah, like he does all these poses and shit. It's fucking funny.
Throws it back, throws
Yeah.
his head and his foot back. Like,
Yeah.
that would be a guy to party with, dude. Like, I gotta get him on this podcast.
That's
'cause
funny.
I gotta message him right away after this to see if he'd come up here one day. I'm
Okay,
like, yo,
Casey Rocket.
yeah, Casey Rocket. Like he went on William Montgomery's, but William's not the same when he's on his show. He's like kind of like naive and shy. He's like, so what do you like? What'd you do last night? It's
Yeah.
like, that's not William. Like William's like, oh no, stop. Like he's just like
Turns out they bombed over 14 million the way he talks and shit.
yeah. Literally this week, and I'm like, oh, what is that weird voice? And then just changes up, like, shut up, bitch!
Yeah.
Just like going at the crowd. I'm having the set of my life up bad.
Get her out of here.
That was kind of like weird. Like Tony's like, what? Like, does he really want her out of here?
Yeah.
Is he just on coke? Like, she paid? Like, that's another thing I hate too is like hecklers. Like, you want to be part of the show? Like,
Yeah.
bro, these are stand-up comedian professionals. They will rip you a new asshole, and you think you're gonna, oh, boo, that's
Yeah.
stupid, and you're like, oh, well, fuck that, man.
Let me see. I just want to see your stupid face.
Yeah, it's like
That shit's funny. We
you
should watch
really
that.
fucking. That's just so dumb to fucking open up that Pandora's box, and now you're on a fucking live podcast forever, and be like, oh, you're the dick that fucking chirped
Do you
Tony
see when they
or-
pull him up there sometimes?
Really? The
Yeah,
hecklers?
I've seen one where they pulled the guy up there.
Did you see the guy that fucking cup checked Jeremiah, the old saxophone player for Kill Tony? He's just doing a stand-up set somewhere, and the guy fucking nut taps him.
I think I might have
And then
seen
like
that. As he's
security
walking
comes out. Yeah, he's like, fuck you, and then gives him a little shot, and then at the end they hug
Oh,
each other.
Yeah,
He's
he's
like,
like,
yo, man,
he's
like, what the fuck?
I gotta go because they have bonked you on your something. Like he calls it like
Your little
some-
baby.
Yeah,
Whatever.
and it was right in the front of the crowd. You sent me that video. That was a weird one.
Yeah, like, and then like that one big fat guy that wears the
He's
gloves.
like, those are the rules, man. I don't make the name of the game. Like those are the rules. You fucking cup check people.
Yeah, that fat guy that's on, what is it? Anyways, he got pulled off the stage. The guy comes and pulls him off of his chair, like, fuck you, and grabs his legs and pulls. That's a big dude, like, going down your tailbone like that. Like, fuck. And then, what was it? Chris Rock almost got stabbed by that guy. It was like a knife gun. It was like a fake gun that had a knife in it. So he's like, pokes it out, and he's like, coming after him. And
bang, slice.
It's slice. Like, that's just so fucking stupid. So weird. But, I mean, you're also talking about different demographics and different groups of people. So, you know, someone takes offense to that, but, like, dude, you came to a comedy show. Like, I don't know. Like, if you and your girl go out and she starts ripping a new one, you know the etiquette. Like, hey, don't talk to them.
We've been to, was it TJ
How was he?
Miller? It was funny, but
Did he get canceled or something?
I don't know. Like, it was, like, he started doing juggling and some other
What?
shit. Like, stuff that's, like, I don't know how to put it.
Like Carrot Toppy?
A little bit.
Props and shit like that?
It wasn't great. And he was
Yeah,
like,
that was disappointing if they're like a big movie star or something. Like, we went and saw this chick that's from the new show Abbott Elementary. It's kind of shot like the Office.
Abbott Elementary. Yeah,
So you know the principal, right? That black chick that's like super funny. Like
vaguely, yes.
She's good on there because she's like, I don't care about these kids. Like, she's just trying to get a paycheck. And
right.
like, oh, well, I look really pretty today. Like telling herself shit like that. So she gets up on stage. Her opener was awesome. Another black chick just killed it. Like, just was great. Like, maybe a 15-minute set. Then she comes up for an hour and she's like, I'm rich, y'all. We got a fucking Emmy. And I'm like, who fucking cares? Tell me a joke, dude. Like, she just couldn't get off that. It was almost like she would loop back to it, like callbacks, right? You like those, right? You throw something at the beginning, throw it in the end, middle, whatever you got to do. But she just kept coming back to, I'm rich. Never call back, baby. Yeah, I'm like, dude, who cares about you being rich? Like, this will be a fad. This will be a 5 to 10 year show, and then you're gonna have to figure it out. And it's not, she'll get another show and stuff like that. But just to like talk like that's so weird. Like, I've never gone up to anybody and be like, I make this much a year, and fuck you. Like, it's just so weird. Like, you think that's funny to me? Right. Like, I just paid $50 to fucking come see you on 2 drink minimum. Like, I think I had not drank for 3 months, and I was like, well, I guess I have to get 2 drinks. Like, can I get a whiskey sour and a tequila soda?
That was how it was when we went to TJ's. Like, what
was the place called?
God, it was like Addison Comedy or the Hyenas or something.
Hyenas is a big one. I think that's a chain. They have like 5 or 6.
Yeah, it was one of those that was like that, but it was I mean, it was pretty cool. But they did this thing at the end of the night where like they go around and like the waiters ask you if you want to be a part of this shot that he does. And so, like, you have to buy this certain shot, which is more expensive, and
you just take it with him.
Yeah, like it's like they'll make a shot for the whole room, and then
you have to pay for it. He's like, a shot's on me, and then
for your own shot, you have to pay for it. Yeah, and then they'll all take it, and then he like roasts the whole room. So like he was like saying something with me like. And he's like, oh, yeah, your girlfriend looks like it's the girl from that movie he was in. She's out of your league or whatever. And, like, he just kept...
a little backhanded fucking
like weird stuff to bring you back to his, like, career.
Yeah. Remember that movie I was in? You look like that. Cool, TJ. You're really killing it up here, buddy. Yeah, it's like when you watch those highlights of Matt Rife, like, his best work is when he does crowd work. So we watched that in Destin with my whole family. My sisters are dying laughing and shit. But then his last special was, like... I've not watched it, but like I hear bad things. Like this is like he should go back to crowd work.
Yeah,
whatever. And I like that a little bit, riffing with the crowd. But like, unless there's a heckler or something, I don't think that they should be a part of the show. Like you're there to make them laugh. So like, why are you fucking picking on some? And that's usually where I think like the nut tap comes from, or like he wants to fight the guy and pulls him off the stage. Is like you're like, hey man, nice fucking beard, or like whatever, and you're like, Jesus Christ, why are you picking on that dude with the cowboy hat? Like,
I've seen one where there's this random black chick interrupts, and she's like, how do you know what you know if you know or something? And she's kind of trails off.
It reminds me of that little kid. He's like, when do you and when I and you and we and when do you have a dream?
Yeah.
It's like what?
And then yeah. So she was just asking like that. She was all drunk and he starts making fun and going in on her, and she's like, she's gonna beat me up in the back of the club. I said what I said. And he's just like like taking hits to the face.
That's wild. Yeah, no, those comedy shows are fucking awesome. Like, I just feel, just like with the rave or whatever, that was a little much last night, not like the actual person that we liked or you didn't know the songs or whatever, but the vibes at those shows, and like that random guy last night that was like, dude, I don't know who the fuck you are, but like, you're fucking awesome. I'm like, all right, thanks, bro. Like, I'm just trying to have a good time. Stop talking to me. But yeah, like when I go to a comedy show, it's so much better than watching on like fucking Netflix or YouTube or whatever. It's like you get the whole thing. I like your style, buddy. Like, thanks. Woo! I remember one time I was at a karaoke bar, and this dude sees me with a nice faux hawk, just gotten freshly cut, and I walk past him. He's like, hold on for the rest of your life. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? I went to a barbershop once in Arizona. They're like, oh, you want a beer? I'm like, oh, this is the first place I ever had where they're like, here's an IPA or whatever while I get my hair cut. I'm like, this is cool. And he's like, damn, dude, that sucks. I'm like, what? And he's like, you have a receding hairline. Like, you're going to be bald in like 5 years. And this one was like 21. I'm like, bitch, no tip for you. Like, what the fuck? Like,
he's all, but if you buy this shampoo, have you ever seen what is it? It's the Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage, and they're both like about to shake hands. And they're like, oh, I don't know. Like if we lock hands, it's just like two ultimate powers, like two exploding things hitting the same time. I don't know what can happen. They're just like. Like they're so powerful and all this shit.
I got all these shirts for Christmas or my birthday or whatever, and like I'm going through them. It's from this website called Homage, sponsor me. So they just have like cool like old wrestling shirts and like schools or like whatever, right? So I send her a list of stuff that I want.
I've heard of them.
And so she gives me all the shirts, and I'm like, what the fuck's this purple one? And it's just like a pair of glasses, and it says Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, nice.
Like he's in the glasses. Like nice shirt, still cool. Like purple, the Ravens or whatever. But I'm like, Mom, what is this one for? Like I'm not a Macho Man Randy Savage fan.
Funny.
She's like, you put it on the list. I'm like, no, look at your text. And we look through it. She's like, I don't know why I bought that shirt. I'm like,
That's funny.
still cool to rock, but.
I was gonna say I don't have to go right now, but in a little bit, I don't know if you want to cut it here or not or later. Doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, I was gonna.
You edit it how you want.
4 more minutes. I was gonna go right till 6.
But I was gonna say, last night I had to take the most wicked piss of my life.
Oh yeah, that was wild, dude. Like, so Dan's asked the guy, which I don't think is an egregious question, right? You're like, hey, can you pull off to a gas station? Like,
yeah, like
really
a gas station, Whataburger, anything that's open, just off the side of the road, right?
And then he's like, hey, like, tell your buddy to look it up. So I look it up. It's like $78.
You gotta put it in the app as like an additional stop.
Yeah, and I'm like, $78 for my friend to piss? This is wild. And you're like, I'm gonna just piss in your car, dude. And he's like,
well, that didn't cost $250.
Is it worth it in your head?
I'm just like, wow, man. If I really had to go, like, if I explode in your fucking car, like. I asked you to pull over a couple times.
Even just on the side of the road, like
I would have
maybe
even given you $50.
That would have been dope. Like I was like, bro, this is insane. Like $78, and then we get to my neighborhood, and we're literally 1,000 feet from my house, and you're like, fuck it, get me out here.
I was like, hey, we turned the corner, and as soon as he slowed down and deaccelerated, I'm like, yeah, I'm getting out here, and I'm all fucking
I thought you were fucking around. I was like, okay, this guy's trying to be a funny guy. It was a callback, and then you're like, nope, and got out. And I was like, oh shit. I'm like, what just happened? Like
I fucking. It was like 4 in the morning. I'm pissing myself on somebody's front lawn.
I thought it was a Toyota Camry.
Yeah, somebody's bringing Chevys to the Toyota-thon out here. Something stinks. Something's funny.
I could not believe that. And then you like walk in the house a few minutes, like, oh, that was good, man. I'm like, dude, we were right here.
Dude,
like, what?
I felt like I was just unloading. I had to go pee really bad.
Those light beers. It's like, phew, that's like clockwork, dude. Like
that guy is
20 minutes. I'm like, I got pissed.
Was so adamant about not letting us over.
It's so stupid. And then I was like, fuck off.
$250. I was like, man, I didn't want to pay that. I can tell you
what
that.
If we all just 3-peat our pants in the car and it was the same price, right? When you just split it.
We just fucking all piss ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you all better just finish going. He's like, stop pissing. You don't even have to go. You don't even have to go piss. You're just going. You're like, all right, I'm fucking.
What the teamwork here?
Focus in.
But would you just piss your pants, or would you like bring your dick out to the side, hit the door a little bit?
You gotta hit everything. If we're having to pay $250, you gotta go hard. You gotta fucking make it
hit the ceiling and shit. Just let it drain.
This is not $250 per person. It's $250 total. Let's get one thing straight. So
that was wild.
That'd be like 80 and 90. It would be much more feasible, and you guys could just say you fucking just rank pissed in a fucking guy's Uber on purpose. Like he just said it was $250, so we're like, Dan started going, and then we had to back him up.
Just dicks out for the boys, dicks out for Harambe in the car, just letting it rip. How, like that, dude? I would be so rattled if I was him.
He would probably call the cops.
Yeah, but no, that's definitely what would have happened. By the way, yeah, we would
be like, we never took our dicks out. We just pissed our pants, and it just happened to be a big puddle.
Pee pants and you pee pants.
He's like, get out! And I'm like, no, you said the fucking. We'd have to pay $250, so we're in it together.
Yeah, that was wild. I had one guy that was like, he threw up, and I got the $250 from him, like in the seat, the passenger seat.
Oh man!
And I was just pissed. I'm like, bro, like we're fucking like 50 feet from your fucking house. Like, get out of it, dude. I'm gonna Venmo you like $700 right now. I'm like, all right, here's my Venmo. And takes a picture of it.
I'm so glad I got out because I'm not kidding. I had to go really bad.
Yeah. Now, how many beers do you think were piled in there? Like 10?
A good amount.
And just like ready to fucking rock. Like,
I was drinking that day too. And,
did you ever get a piss jug when you played like hockey or like video games? I used to have one just because I didn't want to leave the room and have to like run to the bathroom or whatever. Just like fuck it, fill this thing up and then.
No, I never did one of those.
So good. They even make some now, like they're professional grade, like blacked
like,
out. Like doesn't.
18-wheeler drivers and shit.
Yeah, and then you can also like put a pH test in there and like put like
funny.
and like see like if you're like dehydrated or like whatever, and you can be like, okay, cool, I need to start doing this, or I need to supplement with D3 vitamin K, like just like so weird. But yeah, it was a thing in juniors where just like I had a big old jug spitter and a fucking piss jug, and they go dump that bitch out after a fucking long. And I didn't drink back then. It was just like I was drinking brisk iced tea and fucking playing video games, zombieing it up. All right, well, we got to get out of here. It's 6 o'clock. We got to go play hockey at 7:30ish. We're gonna Uber there. pee our pants in the guy's car. As always,
All over
goodbye
the place.
forever, and Mike Minieri.